Hi, hello, future. It's so great to see you again. We're out here on this gorgeous day, just relaxing and enjoying the beautiful weather.
Yes, we've been outside all day. We have enjoyed it so much. We played badminton and some baseball, and we went swimming. We even kind of hiking, even drove Mr. Seth's Jeep around, didn't we? Well, all that activity made me super hungry. So I thought before we start that we should bring some popcorn. Popcorn is so good. But for those of you who don't like to eat popcorn, sometimes you just enjoy the smell of it. Popcorn is one thing that really hits all 5 senses. You can smell it.
It smells so
You
good.
can see it. You can taste it, even if you don't like it. You can hear it pop, and you can touch it. Popcorn touches all 5 of our senses. It's so awesome. So if you need to take a minute and pop yourself some popcorn before you continue watching that, go ahead. Just pause the video and come back and watch it with us.
Okay,
Right?
yes.
Awesome. Okay, so popcorn. It made me start thinking, like, how do you get this soft, squishy popcorn that tastes so good out of all these like hard kernels?
It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Because like this doesn't look like it could be anything. It's so tiny and it's little and it's hard and it's tasteless. You try to eat it, it breaks your teeth. It's crazy. Don't do that at home.
Nope.
But it's hard. So I just like, it got me thinking that maybe we should talk about popcorn today.
Okay.
Do you think we should?
I love popcorn. Why not?
All right. So, boys and girls, we started thinking about with popcorn is we had this little experiment on Hello Future a couple of weeks ago. And it's this. Can you tell me which glass of water has more water in it? Oops. It's really tricky, isn't it? Do you think it's the scissors, the paper clip, is that a battery, or the watch? What do you think, Mr. Seth?
I think it's B, the paperclip.
The paperclip. How do you know that the paperclip has more water in it? Because they all look the same across the board.
Well, if you guys remember the talk that we had a few weeks ago about mass and volume, the amount of volume in there, and there's less mass to the paperclip, so it takes up less water throughout the cup.
Yeah, so the paperclip is lighter, so it doesn't raise the water as much as something that's heavier, like scissors or watch, something like that. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
I thought that maybe, well, I love milk with with my popcorn, and so I thought we should see how the popcorn did. See if the water raises when we put popcorn in it. Do you think we should?
Yeah. Do you want me to try it?
Sure.
All right, let's see how much it raises up when we put the popcorn in. Just stick it right down in there. Is it going up at all?
I don't think so.
Should I try more?
I mean, it's sizzling. It's kind of interesting sound. So,
Yeah.
boys and girls, if mom and dad tell you it's okay at home, you could try this because you can kind of hear a sizzling noise when you do it.
It's still not going up.
Nope, it's not.
That's crazy.
So, boys and girls, you know what? Miss Anna and Mr. Seth tried this a little while ago. And you could actually put this whole bowl of popcorn inside this glass of milk, and it never raises. It never raises up. Isn't that amazing?
That's crazy.
And why do you think it is?
Because as big as these kernels are, it just absorbs the milk. So there's a lot less mass than the volume than it looks. So it's like a sponge. You stick it in there and it just soaks it right in.
That's right, a sponge. And that got me thinking that our minds are kind of like a sponge. It kind of soaks in stuff. So if our brains are like a sponge and anything we see or hear or touch kind of soaks into our mind, what does that mean for us?
Means it's like that song, be careful little ears what you hear. What we hear throughout our lives will affect us. So if we're hearing stuff that's not nice or not good for us, or eating stuff that's not good for us, or looking at like the sun, like it's not good for us, or seeing images that we're not supposed to see, then it's going to affect us, and it's going to desensitize us and make it so we can't
see the good,
Exactly.
right? We're not absorbing the good, we're only absorbing the bad. So
Right.
if I'm watching that movie that doesn't have very good words, or maybe they're doing things to other people that aren't really good, then that's absorbing in my mind. And so that's all I'm thinking about, rather
Exactly.
than what Jesus wants me to think about.
Yeah, and the more you see it, the less you're going to think about it, that we shouldn't be watching this or we shouldn't be seeing this.
So we have to be really careful. Just like this popcorn, it kind of absorbs the liquid. It's very important for us to be careful what we absorb in our minds. So that's the first lesson that I found in popcorn. The other one is, I want to go back to this kernel, Mr. Seth. This kernel is kind of hard and tasteless. Can't really be digested when we eat it. But something happens when it's heated. It pops. At some point, change occurs, and all the potential inside this kernel is released. Now, not all kernels reach that potential.
No.
Some kernels, just like people, they don't reach to that point where they begin that change process, right?
Exactly.
So they stay kind of that hard, tasteless kernel. But our hope is in Jesus Christ is that we begin to change, right? Some remain hard and tasteless, or even sometimes we might get burned pieces. You know, I always find those at the bottom of the bowl, don't you?
Yes.
But it's really important for us to expose that sweet inside of ourselves and that sweet aroma that attracts people to us. Because when we pop and we become this beautiful, tasteful, sweet smelling popcorn, we're not only changing ourselves, but people can notice that in us.
Yes, we are visible to others. So when they see us different from something else, they can say, hey, what's so different about them? I want to be like that.
Yes, you're right. So we have a choice to make. So we can become this very soft and fluffy and fragrant popcorn in Jesus, or we can remain this kind of hard, tasteless kernel.
Yeah.
Which would you rather?
I'd rather be the tasty popcorn.
Me too. But sometimes, you know, just like popcorn, you know, you can cook popcorn on a stove. You can cook popcorn in the popper or
In the microwave?
the microwave. And there's heat that causes that hard kernel to pop into this beautiful popcorn. And sometimes God places us in the heat, those circumstances in our heart, in our lives that we just don't really quite understand. But God places us in there for a reason. Because when we're under that heat and that pressure, just like that hard kernel is, then look what we become after all that pressure and that heat. So when we're uncomfortable or we're trying to learn a lesson, we all hate kind of learning those lessons, don't we? Just think about what God's using it for, to change us into this beautiful fragrance of a popcorn. Isn't that awesome?
It's awesome.
Wow, I am so glad that we've learned so much just from popcorn, and
Yeah.
then we can enjoy eating it
I
too.
know, exactly.
It's good, isn't it?
Oh, it's delicious.
I don't know. How do you like your popcorn, boys and girls?
Lots of butter and salt.
I even like kettle corn. I like a little sugar on it.
A little sweetness.
It is so good, isn't it? So our scripture today is Luke 6:45, and it says,
A good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and an evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of.
so we don't want our hearts to be hard like the kernel. We want to go under that pressure and that heat and become the beautiful, fragrant, that sweet aroma of popcorn, and fluffy and soft and tasteful.
Yes.
Something that people like to see too.
And that'll come out as you live that life. It'll show that you are living for Jesus.
So it's not a one and done thing. I
No.
just don't do it one day and then say, okay, I did it one day and I'm done.
No.
We do it every day?
Every day.
Awesome. Well, boys and girls, that was so much fun.
That was great.
We fell upon that just from our snack from popcorn, didn't
Right?
we?
Yes.
All right. We had so much fun with you today. I hope you pop yourself some popcorn and sit back and enjoy thinking about how you're going to be that sweet, fluffy piece of popcorn instead of that hard kernel.
Yes.
We love you guys, and we thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.